Greetings, Culturians, and welcome back to the channel. I have to say, there's nothing good to report if you're talking about GTA 6. In fact, GTA 6 leaks have reportedly led to massive numbers of firings. Almost an entire studio worth of people are gone now because, well, enough information got out about some negative aspects of the game and where it was as far as performance goes, and is, well, bad news for the company, especially as we get closer and closer to the November release timeframe. I'm telling you right now that a lot of those firings may have been justified, but at the same time, it may prevent a lot of people from investing too heavily in this game. We've got to talk about it, so here we go. Now, before we get started, just a quick reminder, GTA 6 leak reportedly lead to employee firings, but this is all over the news now. Whether you go to IGN or Screen Rant or any of the other places that actually pretend like they cover games, this is big news, and for good reason. And it all came out this weekend in probably a way that Rockstar didn't want. A new wave of leaks have been going around, and of course, none of them are good. Several Rockstar employees have been fired over the internal breach of, well, basically the game. In fact, it's happened on multiple occasions, 3 separate ones that they're willing to outline. And they're talking about a lot of unannounced features and mechanics for GTA 6, many which appear to be finalized or deep in development, which is another reason why we may see a delay, as I reported last week. I'm looking at it this way. I don't really care what the emotional health is of any of these characters. And the fact that that's even being considered in some form or fashion with a different name, it really doesn't appeal to me. But I mean, for the intellectually challenged, maybe this is something that they want because, well, the games need to have like emotional points in them and they can manage their triggers. Maybe, I don't know. But some of the content lines up with all the earlier leaks that came out originally. And the new details not previously seen are also some that had been rumored a long time ago. So there are 700 plus interiors that have been leaked. The dynamic AI has been updated once again, and it really does outline, kind of what the game's going to look like. I'm going to say it this way. Every one of these games since 4 has been built to a level of detail that most gamers don't experience because a lot of us don't enter every building, don't try to. A lot of us never accidentally clip through some of the stuff that was put in place but never fully implemented for the gamer to get to. But there's a massive expansion from previous titles just by adding all of these extra interior items. They are going to use old assets as well, but these new ones, supposedly impressive. And you've also got a lot of vertical open world to explore because you're going to be going in and out of skyscrapers, tall buildings, things like that. There's, all these features, over 700. You got shops, malls, skyscrapers. You have a weight gain and weight loss system, and that will visibly affect your character and how clothes look on them. There's a lot going on here. Stuff that I wouldn't think was important. Maybe you do. They're returning the 6-star wanted level, which I think a lot of people complained had disappeared. They've got a dynamic relationship mechanic that I mentioned earlier between protagonists Jason and Lucia. Why do you need to manage that? I don't know, but it's like shades of Mass Effect in some ways that I really don't think that we need. In fact, I think it's another mechanic that's going to be used to limit game performance or how you perform individually in the game. And it's going to be a way to measure and kind of train you to become the most woke virtue signaling person you can become, because that's really what happened here. With Rockstar being acquired by Take-Two, we always knew that this was potentially going to happen, and now it's out there. Now, the NPCs are going to react to visible weapons, which they'd already kind of been doing, at least in 5, if I remember correctly. Underwater exploration is going to be much more extensive. There'll be secret areas, diving locations, caves. There's revamped driving and handling mechanics, which means that there's still an emphasis on being able to, well, drive a car, hence Grand Theft Auto. And there will be a limited weapon carrying system, which is trunk based inventory and all the other stuff that comes along with it. In other words, the thing that bothers me about Fallout 76 is how those mechanics work. Again, you're probably going to be able to buy your way into something bigger or an expanded capacity, which is unfortunately one of the ways that these games work now is you have to buy to get the best. And that's a real problem for me. If that is what happens in the game, not only will I not be playing it to the extent with which I've played 5 or any other similar games, I'm going to actively be calling it out because I find that to be disgusting. But beyond all of that, everything's returning, including dynamic weather and advanced police AI, which will be much improved, and NPCs that continue to follow daily routines. And this is something you probably didn't know. In the previous game, or in GTA 5 specifically, there are NPCs that do stuff all the time in the background. And it's not just a set pattern just to control like a loop. It's essentially what they were trying to establish in Westworld, where they go through entire behavioral systems and they analyze what they're doing throughout the day, which is one of the reasons why the game is massive, uses tons of memory and processing power, and why I think you have to have a PS5 to get successful use out of GTA 6 or a really advanced PC. And I think that's also why you're not seeing a lot of Xbox development, because it just isn't built for that level of performance. But hey, that's just me. All of this was released, at least these leaks were released via the Gameverse Twitter account, which you can go and check out now, or if you prefer the X account, I guess. And there is internal fallout at Rockstar because of all of this. The source of the leak reportedly came from internal communications or builds, which means people have full-blown copies of the game to goof around with now. And a lot of these people can start doing their own guides, maybe even cutting videos to help people move through missions well before anybody who pays for the privilege gets access to that. And they fired just a ridiculous number of people because of this particular breach. 30 staff members that were involved in organizing for union claim that some of the firings are related to that, not even to these leaks, or that the leaks were done so they could get rid of the people trying to build unions. This is something that Rockstar specifically has been accused of doing before, and they've had some bad behavior if you even go back to Red Dead Redemption 2. By the way, Red Dead Redemption 3 is in active development as we speak, so I think they're going to stop dragging out game releases for so very long. 13 years right now by the time we get this game, and maybe more, because another delay is rumored and honestly is more likely than we could imagine. The leaks, while unconfirmed, actually they've been confirmed in other stories, give a clearer picture of the scale that Rockstar is aiming for, which is absolutely massive. And again, we are not supposed to see until November of 2026. I'm going to say it this way. I'll be surprised if we get it then. Jeff Schneider from Bloomberg is probably going to be surprised if we get it by then. And I think a lot of other game insiders will be as well, because I don't expect this to release until 2027, although I think it'll be earlier in the year rather than later. But I think they really need to polish up some features that they haven't even started to work on yet, because they still have a lot of stuff that they've been cleaning up along the way to get rid of some of the virtue signaling wokeness to begin with. And again, the scope of the game may exceed anybody's expectations at this point, including mine. And I'm expecting a lot, but how about you? Let me know your thoughts on GTA 6 and why they may have gotten rid of so many people. Was it because of these leaks, or was it because they're trying to do a little union busting? Do you think that we'll actually see the game in November of 2026, or do you agree with me and think we might get it in 2027? And finally, is this a game you might actually spring for, even though it's rumored it could test the $100 barrier? Let me know your thoughts, again, down in the comments section below, and you can talk about other things in GTA 6 as well. Believe me, I'm listening and paying attention. As always, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya. Probably playing GTA 5, really.